The hot weather might make your flowers wilt or your lawn turn brown, but damage to your trees may not be as obvious, at least not right away. The impact of drought conditions might not show up until years later, putting the tree and everything around it at risk. Joining us now with some advice is arborist Scott Gardner. Good morning, Scott. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Okay, so the trees in our yard, it's been incredibly dry. Some of them, the leaves are already starting to shrivel, maybe even fall off. Is that the first sign that trees might be stressed or damaged, or is it something that might not be as obvious much earlier?
Well, the loss of leaves is basically when the tree has decided that it doesn't have enough nutrients to sustain those leaves. So oftentimes, losing of leaves is the first obvious sign. But with that, there's a lot of cultural practices that you can do to avoid the decline in the trees. So with it, you can mulch the ground around the tree so that it will hold on to more of the water. You can do supplementing. You can aerate the soil. You can fertilize. There's a lot of things that you can do to help make it so that the tree can resist the drought. But the sad fact is, over the last 5 years, we've had drought every year, and we're talking from June through till September, we haven't had any water. And it's great for going to the beach, but for trees, that's a sustained period of just nothing. So supplementary watering, deep watering, roots for trees go down about 3 feet. So spending more time allowing the water to go deeper into the ground will be more beneficial. And having the mulch on top of the soil is beneficial for insulating that water so it doesn't evaporate. It stays in the ground and the tree is able to take it up during the heat of the day.
Okay, good idea to give your tree, if you're concerned about it, like some deep soaking, like really give it a good soak and maybe less like sprinkling, because that maybe doesn't have the desired impact. What if you were to do nothing with trees?
Trees are fairly resilient, so they can sustain a lot of hardship. But with it, it's going to reduce the amount of energy that tree has to take these extreme events. So when we have the heat domes, it's extreme heats. Or this winter we had a cold snap. And the trees they don't have as much nutrients in them to kind of like fight those off and bounce back from them. Doing nothing is it's going to stress the trees out, which is going to be just one more thing that's going to put them at risk of either having a large failure or completely succumbing to the heat. Like over the last week, we haven't had any major storms, but what we have had is a lot of full tree failures or full limb failures just from inability to handle the stress.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, so, I mean, you talked about this, we've had drought for the last several years. So over the long term, the type of foliage that we have around our homes is really important to consider. What is the worst type to have around your home, the worst type of tree to plant that could handle drought, and what's the best?
So with this, I would say at this point, the trees that we're wanting to avoid are cedars. The temperature, cedars prefer a lot of moisture in the ground, and as a result, this dryness is stressing them out. So I would say in the next 5 years, the Lower Mainland is going to, the cedars in the Lower Mainland are going to be not doing very well. Trees that are drought resistant would be a lot of the see in the municipal boulevards. So locusts or elms, the trees of that nature.
Okay, good advice. People have to sort of rethink how they do their landscaping. Scott Gardner with Davey Tree Service, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Have a great day.
Thank you.